Hello! To celebrate the release of 10-minute tactical maps, I've planned a special map making video. If you're unfamiliar with this system, then please see the first video on the channel. So far, every map that I've drawn has followed 10-minute tactical map's basic procedure. The basic procedure produces a map that fits on one sheet of half-inch graph paper or 4 sheets of 1-inch graph paper. These maps represent areas that are 110 feet long and about 85 feet wide. That's suitable for many purposes, but what if you want to make a larger map? Thankfully, 10-minute tactical maps includes procedures for scaling up your maps, which I intend to demonstrate in this video. There are two fundamental methods for creating larger maps. One is division, which is essentially drawing multiple basic maps, then putting them together. This tends to be slower, and some pairs of subtypes may be difficult to stitch together. However, this can produce tremendous variety. The other method, extrapolation, works by selecting a single subtype, drawing it in the center of the map, and then extending the major features outward to the map's boundary. This usually is faster, and it produces more cohesive maps. Unfortunately, for some terrain, it may cause the edges of the map to feel empty. On the other hand, some of the terrain types feel crowded at the basic scale, so extrapolation actually enhances them. One of these subtypes is the hill's interlocking spurs, which I plan to draw now. I'm tripling the area of the map, so I have 3 sheets of half-inch graph paper. Notice that these sheets use a row orientation rather than a column orientation of the other maps, so that a creature can move straight along the map's longest axis. Also note that the proportions have been adjusted so that the sheets fit together smoothly. These templates are available on Etsy and DriveThruRPG. As I said, the general procedure here for extrapolation is to start with map that's the standard size and begin drawing on that, and then we'll move the features outward. So, all right, a 5 to 10 foot wide gentle slope. I'm going to go down along this diagonal, roughly, and then at some point turn a corner and shoot up this way. All right, so we're extending this trough to the next sheet. I'll get this third one out of the way. And I think we're continuing to follow the diagonal, roughly. And I think I'll get up to here or so, and then turn it down to go off the page. Okay, and for sheet number 3. Okay, so we've got our entire, we've got the trough here. Now we need to divide the areas outside the trough into slopes that descend toward it. So to do this, I'll start with the center again. Okay. All right, number 3. All right, so those are our major features. And it's looking pretty good. Now, in this case, the terrain subtype does affect the prop frequency. The trough contains 1d4 plus 2 block fields. Now those instructions are given for a regular scale map, so we've got to increase that. Increase it by a factor of 3 because the area of our map is increased by a factor of 3. So 1 and 1, 4, 12 block fields total. And we can distribute these however we want. It doesn't have to be 4 per page. And I'm going to take another look to see if there's some place that they would fit best. This stretch over here is pretty wide, and something that the players might realistically cross. There's not really any point in putting them over in the corners. because the players aren't going to interact with them at all. All right, so we'll start right here. All right, half of them down. Okay, that's all for the block fields. Now, in the same way that we've scaled up the number of block fields, we'll scale up the number of boulders. So instead of 1d4 short boulders, it's 3d4 short boulders. So that's 4, okay, 8. For the tall boulders, I'm going to do 1d4 minus 1, so 3d4 minus 3. 4, 4, okay. 4, 4, 4, wow, that is 9 tall boulders. Here we go. Okay, that's all the standard props. There are multiple procedures that we can use to increase the number of random props. We can roll the same number of times on the random prop table and then scale up the results, or we can scale up the number of rolls on the random props table. Or we can do a combination, and I think that's what I'm going to do here, where we roll, instead of rolling twice on the random props table, we roll 3 times, so that's a 50% increase, and then we double the result of each roll. So 1.5 times 2, that's 3. That gets us the scale factor for the area of the map. So it'll give us the same proportion of props relative to the area. Outcrops, 1d4 of them, which, given that we're doubling, is actually 2d4. Okay, so 4 of them total. All right, so on to random prop number 2, and I'll get out the other D8 and D4 because that just makes it go faster. 12, what is it, 12? Briar patches, okay. 1d4 plus 2, so that's 2d4 plus 4. 9 in total. Okay, random prop number 3. 13. I am just going to re-roll that because I don't think that more outcrops would be that interesting. 20. Okay, what's that? Hogweeds. All right, that's more fun. 2d4 of them. Okay, well that is the mechanically finished map. This definitely could use some coloring to it. So I'll get back to you once that happens.